This morning, the firestorm officials had feared becoming a reality, with a third out-of-control wildfire exploding overnight in the Los Angeles area.
The wildfires burned over 55,000 acres. Over 16,000 structures were burned down. Tens of thousands of people were forced to evacuate their homes. We knew at Home Again Los Angeles that the families that were impacted by the wildfires needed more than shelter. They needed counseling that would eventually lead to stability. Home Again LA did what they always do, respond to the needs of the community.
We got into our mobile resource van and started, canvassing the areas and, try to see who was in need and providing them with the resources that they needed.
We were already getting phone calls by that first weekend at Home Again LA of people in fear of their future, not knowing if they are going to go back to work or if there is even a place for them to go back to work.
We had to really work under pressure to ensure that these families had somewhere safe to sleep at night. They had hot meals and just feel a sense of security.
We had several organizations, partners like Rotary, Tequila's restaurant fundraiser here in Burbank, hosting collection drives of essential items. And we were so fortunate, very, very blessed to be able to secure quite a bit of items for our families that we had to actually rent out a storage shed. We can provide some support for at least the next 6 to 8 months because of these key partners who gave us all these items that we're going to be able to, on a weekly basis, provide to families from these disaster zones.
I became homeless by way of the Eaton fire. I live with my dad, who's 83 and blind and diabetic. And so I'm caretaking him. When the home burned down, that's how my dad and I became homeless.
I was renting a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and the owners decided that they were gonna rent the house and, they needed me and my children to move out.
My father's son put hands on me. I had to call the cops and I just left and I didn't know where I was gonna go. I just wanted to leave. I was really scared for my life.
We evacuated like at 2 a.m. I have stage 3 pancreatic cancer. The sheriffs kept saying they would come get us because we're compromised. And I realized at some point the sheriffs were not gonna come rescue us, and we needed to rescue ourselves.
To be homeless in a dirty hotel and experiencing roaches everywhere.
Not knowing if my kids are gonna have a warm meal, if I'm gonna be able to eat, and if I'm gonna have a room at night. It was very challenging.
I was looking online. I finally had came across Home Again LA.
It felt really nice that there was actually people that cared, that provided everything that you need to survive, especially with 2 kids that you don't know where you're at.
The physical things we did need, like the toiletries and essentials and things like that, but also the emotional help. I needed a hand and I needed someone's heart to listen. I knew I was gonna do this.
You get flyers for different workshops. You get flyers for if you need assistance for food, if you need assistance for deodorant, shampoo. There's just so many things.
They provided counseling. They made sure we were able to find jobs or anything that was a burden or something that we couldn't do. They provided that.
The little things become the big things.
We are assisting an additional 29 families that have become unhoused because of the Eaton fire. We really leaned on our landlords to provide us the support and resources to get these families back into housing much quicker.
We have these partnerships for a reason, to be able to kind of ease the load on the families because they're already struggling as it is. And we're just trying to help them, not be struggling so much and just trying to get them to a point where they're stable.
The Cusmano Real Estate Group and Hala partnered to bring in case management to provide not only financial assistance to our residents who are impacted by the rising costs in Los Angeles, to connect them with resources in our community, whether that would be CalFresh benefits, connecting them with, local food pantry like BTAC. It provides them with that sense of security that they really need to thrive.
So not only are they just getting rapid rehousing support, they're getting wraparound case management services. So if there's ever any issues with our clients, we're right there to assist, to problem solve.
Housing can take up to 3 months at Home Again LA. But as soon as we get closer and closer to that 90 days, we start realizing families are really starting to believe in themselves. Families start realizing that there is hope.
It's emotional for me because I relate to some of these families and I know what it's like to feel hopeless.
When you're watching them go from crisis to stability, that's a very impactful moment and powerful.
I don't even know. I'm just beyond grateful. I am.
The moment that you get your keys, it feels like a big weight has been lifted off of your chest and that you're into a new journey.
They were working hard and it all worked out for me in the end and my dad. We're very blessed and happy.
Home Again LA is that beacon of hope that we need right now. And we can't do it without you, our partners, our donors, our volunteers, our investors. We need you now more than ever so that we can lift these families back up to stability and help them achieve their dream, a dream of housing and having a happy family.